Welcome back to the Mary Elizabeth Jones's Variety Hour.
Part two.
Two. Part
Do.
two.
Not do. Do. It's all right to say do. Don't say do. Now, let me tell you something.
Right.
I got this. I think at Five Below or something. It's a bath mat.
Oh,
Look
that
at
is
this
so
colors.
cool. I love
Look at
that.
this color.
That
I don't
is
even
so
want to put it in my bathtub. I
cool.
just want to just hang it and
You
look
could just
at it
hang it
all
on the
day.
wall.
You
Yes.
see it? I
Yeah.
don't know if it comes out, but it's like a rainbow. It's like a
really
hologram.
pretty.
Yeah. So,
That's really pretty. I like to have one like
we should
that.
do the whole
For
show
my
just me
shower.
like this. All right. Now I know why I got it so cheap. It smells like it smells like the factory.
Yeah. I like
Smells
the
like a
smell.
new car.
Sometimes I like the smell of new things.
New things, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Well, I don't like the smell of old things. I don't like the smell of like old books. They have that moldy
Oh yeah.
warlord thing.
Yeah, I don't like
Yeah.
that smell. But
And I'm looking forward to later today. I'm gonna go swimming. We're gonna
oh
go
yes.
swimming. Let's have some fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
I'm like a superhero. I always wear my bathing suit under my clothes.
Yes, yeah, me too.
You can't really see it, but I'm wearing white pants.
Yeah.
And white pants is like the first time in 2 years I've worn white pants. And
Right.
trouble with wearing white pants is everyone can see your bathing suit or your underwear right through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Right. All right.
I see polka dots are into this year. All right. Now, let's see. Tell me, let's see. Your record collection. How's that going?
Doing good. Good. I
Yeah.
bought a few more records recently today. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. And I got some really good ones
I think
too.
there's a dirt bike race over there.
Yeah.
So anyway, and you bought tell me about like show me one of your new records here.
I got.
They're not really new records. They're just new to you.
Yeah. I got this one called Freddy Fender.
Oh yeah. Get a good look at Freddy. Yeah.
Yes. It's supposed to be a good album.
Freddy Fender is really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I have another album by him called Swamp Gold, but it didn't have those two famous songs on it. So I finally found, I was thinking about getting this one too, but I finally found it at the last minute. I'm like, I'm grabbing this.
Freddy Fender, yeah.
Yeah, so.
It still has the plastic on it, which means it's probably hardly ever played. Now, what are the songs on there? I mean, songs we would know on there.
It's got,
not all the songs, but.
It's got Wasted Days and Wasted Nights.
Oh, there you go.
Before the Next Teardrop Falls.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It also got Roses Are Red.
That's the Bobby Vinton song?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm Not a Fool Anymore.
Yeah.
He did a lot of cover hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he did.
Nobody sang like Freddie Fender in the day. He had that wonderful voice.
Right.
Tex-Mex, they called it.
Yeah. It's got Please Don't Tell Me How the Story Ends.
Oh, yeah.
You Can't Get Here From There.
Yeah.
I Love My Rancho Grande.
Was that a breakfast?
I guess so.
Oh, Rancho Grande is a ranch. Yeah,
and it
big
also,
ranch.
Of course, it has Wasted Days and Wasted Nights.
The Wild Side of Life, I see, is on there.
Yeah, it's got that, I think.
They say God don't make honky-tonk angels.
Yeah.
That's that song.
I Almost Called Your Name.
Yeah.
Before the Next Teardrops Falls.
Mm-hmm.
Wild Side of Life. After the Fire Is Gone. And then You Can Tell Me Goodbye.
Yeah. Oh, then You Can Tell Me Goodbye. Oh, that's a good song. Yeah. They're all good songs.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all worth a listen. Show everybody that picture of him on the back. I just love this suit.
Isn't that cool? It also has, like, history about him and all that.
Yeah.
And how he started.
Red suit. I gotta get a suit like that.
Yeah.
I can get the jacket or the pants, but I can't get them both.
Right.
Okay, enough of Freddie Fender. He's not the star of the show. Yes. We are.
Of course. I also picked up another good album.
Yeah.
Robert Goulet. And it sings like summer sounds.
Yeah.
This is a really
what
good
hits the? I don't know. Robert Goulet. I used to see him on TV all the time. He's a really good singer. But
yeah.
Did he? What hits did he have?
He had Summer Sounds, Old Cape Cod, I've Got the World on a String, Mademoiselle, I'll Get By As Long As I Can Have You, Till, Walk Into the Dawn, Once Upon a Summertime, Love All Is Blood, What Now My Love, If You Love Me, Really Love Me, and Summertime.
Oh, I know that song. If You Love Me, Really Love Me. It's Hymn
Yeah.
L'Amour. And it's a French song by Edith Piaf. He
Yeah.
must have had the hit with the English version.
Right.
And Summertime is on there. Let me
Yeah.
see that again. A lot of good songs on it. I don't know, but I don't know if any of them were his hits. I think he just sang them.
I also have another one by
What
him.
Now My Love is a good song by a lot of these are European songs. A lot of very popular songs from the 60s and
Right.
50s were like
Yes.
English versions of French songs.
I also have another one by him at home that's got like Broadway songs
Yeah.
on it,
Yeah.
which I bought from the same thrift store as I got.
Well, he was. I tell you where you saw Robert Goulet. He starred as Sir Lancelot in the original Camelot,
Yes.
and he wasn't in the movie. Terrible actor Franco Nero, who was dubbed,
Oh no.
played. I mean, he seems like a nice enough guy, but he's
Yeah.
but he was dubbed as singing for Camelot. And when they made, I think years before he died, Robert Goulet, he toured in Camelot, but not playing Sir Lancelot. He was at that point old enough to play King Arthur.
Yeah.
And Robert Goulet, if he's famous for anything, he sang, I think, at one of the first Super Bowls, and forgot the lyrics to the national anthem.
Oh wow.
And they had to stop it and start it again and put the words in front of him so he could sing it. He forgot the
Oh
lyrics in that,
wow.
and then his defense was that he was Canadian and didn't really know
Oh wow.
the
Okay.
lyrics. And as a result, I think ever since then they they have it pre-recorded. Whitney Houston, all these people
Yeah.
sing it, and then they just lip sync it there because they didn't want what happened there again. So then I think like 2 years ago, uh, somebody, I think it was Christina Aguilera, sang the national anthem, and they said, "Well, a long time has happened since Robert Goulet. Let's have them sing it. Let's
Yeah.
have them sing it live again." And then Christina forgot the lyrics to the
Oh
national
wow.
anthem.
Oh wow.
You know, when you sing it at home in front of your TV before a ball game, you always say, "Oh, I know these words are easy," you know. But then probably when you're on all those cameras and singing in person, you might forget the lyrics. Might be so nervous. You have to sing. It's a very hard song to sing. You have to, because it goes up and up and up and up. You have to start it very low and then and go.
Right.
but I love to sing, and my goal in life is sooner or later, and I want a little league team. I don't care, a ball game, anything. Please call on me, and I will be happy to show up at my expense and sing the national anthem before the game because I've never done it, and I think I could do it. I told someone this, said, you know how all the ball players kneel kneel when they hear the national anthem? I said, yeah. He goes, well, they're going to do that when you start singing, not because of a protest. They just want you to stop. In fact, in fact, Ted Cruz would kneel if I started singing the national anthem. Oh man, so let's see. I have some people, really good people. I have let's see, I have CDs here. You ever heard of Jimmy Scott?
Yes.
Jimmy Scott was a jazz singer. He was a Let me hold it up a little bit. He was a jazz singer um, that was very diminutive. I don't think he was like 5 feet tall, and he was. And I have to tell you all this stuff about him. He smoked constantly. He was black, and when he started singing, forget about everything else. He had this range. He could hit the heights of a high note. He sang. He didn't even sound like a man anymore. He sounded like a beautiful woman singing. And what happened was uh, Jimmy Scott. I think that I must have called him something else earlier. Jimmy Scott. What happened was he never really made it. His music was a little too weird.
Yeah.
He would sing popular songs, no rock and roll, nothing cool. It was all ballads, all love songs. What's on here that I might know? Dream and I Cried for You and You Never Miss the Water till the well runs dry and I'm Through with Love. You know, these are the type of songs he would sing. Imagination. I have another album. What happened was So this guy kind of languished, and he in New York, and he'd have his his album come out, or his the Blue Note he would start singing, and people would come to him. He was a singer.
Right.
And what happened was, starting in the 1990s, he became this big hit again,
Oh wow.
or big hit for the first time. And the reason why was, and this, I told you what a weird kind of guy he was. He's very short, skinny, black, wore glasses, smoked constantly, hair slicked back, had the strangest voice for a guy, what he looked like. And he was in Twin Peaks. There's a dream sequence
Right.
with a dwarf and Kyle MacLachlan that everyone knows, where the guy's talks backwards and everything, and it's one of the weirdest scenes. We're talking about the first half shows people wouldn't let you watch. Twin Peaks is one of those shows, because that was on when I was a kid. My mom would have said, "You can't watch this," and then I would have said, then that would have been my business to watch it. But Twin Peaks, he was on Twin Peaks, and became a big sensation again on talk shows and everything.
So cool. Yeah.
And what's weird is, I think this album, it says produced by David Lynch. David Lynch is not a producer of jazz albums. He's a film director.
Yeah.
So check out Jimmy Scott. I'm gonna put probably in links to hear some of his music, because of all he's probably, of all the people we're going to talk about today, the one you probably don't know, the least about.
Yeah.
And he died a few years ago, but he was an old guy when he died. He was in his 80s or something. But he's something else, Jimmy Scott, and he was in Twin Peaks, and that's what made him popular again.
Yeah. Speaking of David Lynch, the director.
Yeah.
On American Idol, Simon Cowell is not a singer.
Yeah.
And he, judges the singers anyway.
Yeah, but he knows what makes a good singer. Everyone sings, and everyone has an opinion on singing.
Right. But
and Simon Cowell, I don't know a whole lot about him before American Idol, but I think Simon was like a producer, ahead of a record label or something, or an agent or something, and so he would pick the right people to know how far they could go, and match them up with the right types of songs.
Okay,
and that's what he. And so when he looks down on people, I always feel that there's not everyone's a good singer. They're just singing the wrong songs.
Yeah.
A lot of starting with, I guess, Buddy Holly. He was like one of the, and maybe a lot of these people in the rock and roll era, people like Chuck Berry and people like that, they would write their songs and sing them. And then almost all performers were required to do that. Elvis didn't do that. A lot of singers didn't do that. A lot of country music singers don't do that. Certainly all the popular singers before rock and roll, like Frank Sinatra and Bing Crosby, they didn't write their songs. Other people wrote their songs.
Yeah.
But what the crazy thing is that starting in rock and roll, you had what's called the singer-songwriter. Bob Dylan probably being the most famous of that type of singer, and the Beatles, of course. But the trouble with singer-songwriters is, you got plenty of good singers singing lousy songs, or lousy singers singing good songs.
Right. Yeah.
So it just goes to show you what works. Sometimes certain, like for example, when I sing in in a variety show or karaoke or something, I have to pick the song. There are certain songs I cannot sing, or if I try, I would like to sing them, but I cannot sing them. When I saw Frank Sinatra by the time he pretty much one of his last shows in 1993, I think. He didn't sing. There were a lot of songs he did not sing. And he couldn't sing the songs he sang with the Tommy Dorsey band, because his voice was like a tenor.
Yeah.
Now his song was almost like a baritone or a bass. So, but the songs he had as a baritone or bass that were hits, like New York, New York, and The Summer Wind, and songs like that, he late in his career, he matched the right songs to sing. He had a long enough career that he could do that. But his voice changed. A lot of times you hear him from the 1940s, when I guess he first made it big, that he doesn't sound like the Frank Sinatra from the 1980s. A lot of these singers try to sing the same way, and they can't. Frank Sinatra was smart enough that his voice changed, so did his songs. I think as I get older, there are certain songs I certainly cannot sing. Like I mentioned, the national anthem, I could sing it when I was younger with no problem, but now I'd probably have to get really low Oh, say that. So by the time it gets high, I'll have my normal voice because I started my normal voice. I have to be screaming at the top of my lungs at the end.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light?
There you go.
Or just proudly we hail for the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight, and the rainbows we watch, they so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, almost bursting in air, gave proof through the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the brave?
Everybody get up off their knees. Play ball. Very good. That's your audition for the next ball game. You know, when you go to New York or a big city, Los Angeles or somewhere, they always have a celebrity singing it when you go to the ball game. When I went to Yankee Stadium, Robert Merrill, the famous opera singer, sang it.
Right.
And sometimes they have that great. I think I was in at a hockey game at Madison Square Garden, and that famous firefighter that has the tenor voice. He sang it there. Yeah. So you always want to go where the I remember once I was watching the World Series, the Fifth Dimension. This is back in the '70s. The Fifth Dimension sang the national anthem.
Yeah.
Craziest national anthem is the other than Robert Goulet, is the one where Jose Feliciano sings it.
Yes.
And he sings like he does like a Latin version. Oh, say, can you see? And people were so upset. For one thing, he wasn't American. I mean, I think he is an American, but he's like an American citizen, but he's from Puerto Rico, so they were upset that Puerto Rico is part of America.
Yeah.
So yeah, and
light my fire, light my fire, light my fire.
Oh yeah.
Lie,
You know,
lie.
we had a bigger
That's why
hit
he
with
did
Light
it.
My Fire than the Doors did.
Yeah.
And,
I like both versions.
and Light My Fire, the Doors version.
Yeah.
You know, the Doors, it's one of the few songs the Doors had a hit with that Jim Morrison did not write.
Wow.
He wrote almost all the other songs. But in fact, they made a point of that. They in the movie I saw about the Doors with Val Kilmer playing Jim Morrison, they said the only hit the Doors had, you didn't even write. So shut up. He's trying to complain about.
I mean, I like both versions because I like both Jose and the Doors. So I like the Doors too because they did a lot more hits.
Yeah.
Just Light My Fire.
Jose Feliciano.
Yeah.
I saw him recently on the Jimmy Fallon show. He's still great. Still great. You know, Jose has the hit song Feliz Navidad.
Yes, I like that one.
Well, of course, we joked about it on an earlier show that nobody owns that record because they play it every 20 minutes during the Christmas season. Who needs to buy it? Just turn on a radio at any given time. Most played song ever.
Yeah.
Now I also have let's see. I also have Calloway.
Oh, he's the greatest.
Oh yeah, isn't he great?
Yes.
I went to see him in person and in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I see these guys all before they die.
He was also in the Janet Jackson video.
He's in the Janet Jackson video. An actor plays him as a younger man, and then if you see the longer version, the real Calloway comes as a guy to upset everything. He doesn't sing, but he's kind of neat, and he's wearing this outfit.
Right. I think it's that same picture that was on the Janet Jackson video.
Well, no, this is actually, I know something about this picture. This was taken in I think the 60s.
Oh.
But this was already something like 30 years after he started wearing this. And then we saw him in Janet Jackson. That was 60 years after that.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this Calloway is one of my favorite singers. He was one of those guys that I was determined to see before I died or before he died.
Right.
And I was happy to go see him. He was at the Jazz Festival in Philadelphia, and I'd never been to Philadelphia before, so I went to see him, and I got to meet him, and I showed a picture to somebody of a young, like a child of Cab Calloway and me together, and she said, "Oh, I know that guy. He's in the Blues Brothers." And I said, "Yes, I remember. He's in the movie The Blues Brothers." And the story goes about the Blues Brothers. You know, he has a part in it, and of course, at the end, he sings, near the end, he sings sort of a classic version of Minnie the Moocher. But at the time, when it was made in 1979 or 1980, when the movie was made, um, he was trying to promote a hit of Minnie the Moocher, a disco version. And the producer and director said, "We don't want to hear the disco version of Minnie the Moocher. We want to hear the classic version," which he did. And well, actually the disco version is actually pretty cool. As disco songs go, it's not a terrible song. In fact, when I heard it, I have the disco version, and then when I heard it in a record store, I always knew the song. That Heidi, 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 all that. It's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those songs everybody, even if you don't know the lyrics, which you probably don't, you could go Heidi, Heidi. You could just say when he choo boom, choo boom. But anyway, so I'm hearing this, and I in the record store, Bohannon's, I think was the name of it, and said, "Who's singing that great version of Minnie the Moocher in the disco version?" And they said, and they just said it, Cab Calloway. I said, Cab Calloway, that was something like 40 years out from when he had more than that, probably 50 years out from the Cotton Club. Mr. Cotton Club, we used to call him. Because the Cotton Club, what was the story? Duke Ellington and Cab Calloway. Duke Ellington played there more, but Cab Calloway was Mr. Cotton Club. A lot of his songs are, of course, Minnie the Moocher, but some of these songs are just so good. And
Hoy hoy.
Well, I mean, they're all kind of sort of like they're all everybody eats when they come to my house. He didn't. When you think about Minnie the Moocher, is probably his only really big hit that he's known for. I saw him on a talk show, I think Charlie Rose, and he said, "How do you begin your show?" He goes, "I begin it with the same song I always do it." And I thought it was Minnie the Moocher. He goes, "What is it?" He said, "September Song." Famous Kurt Weill song, and it's a long, long way from. But he sings a fast version from May to December, but the days get cold when you reach September. It's a really good song, and great. Frank Sinatra says the greatest love song of all time. But it's he sang his version of it. But he didn't throw any Heidi Ho's in it. I don't even know if I have a album. I think I rarely see September Song by Cab Calloway on any album. They always have the same. We were talking about the Mills Brothers earlier. Whenever you get a Cab Calloway album, a Chris Christopherson album, a Chuck Berry album, or a who did I mention? The Mills Brothers album, you basically get a lot of the same songs on each album. It's very hard to get something different on it. But Cab Calloway is always good. Cab Calloway got kind of short shrift on on that jazz miniseries. They mentioned him for like about a minute and a half, but to me, he's like one of the greatest jazz people of them all. Made it so good. Cab Calloway, Born on Christmas.
Yes.
And I got one last thing to show you.
One last one.
Aaron Neville.
Yes, he's
Aaron
awesome.
Neville.
I like him.
I think the Neville brothers have retired as a band. I think they're not young guys. They were in their, I think they're like the oldest ones are in their 80s, and the youngest ones are in their 70s.
Wow.
And Aaron, tough guy, most famous guy with a tattoo on his face. Before Mike Tyson.
That mole, whatever it was.
Yeah, that milk dud.
Yeah.
He calls it. And that's the birth thing. The fact he's been birthmark. Yeah. But I met Aaron Neville when he came to Browns Island, and I was so excited to see the Neville brothers. I've seen the Neville brothers twice, and I've met the Mills. The Neville brothers, and Aaron's probably the most famous. Aaron is one of those guys that he looks like a tough guy, but just like Jimmy Scott, he has a voice. They have similar voices, that falsetto You know, first
Like
time I heard Aaron Neville, I didn't even know if it was a
he
man or
kind
a
of
woman.
sounds like a Jamaican sort of
Yeah,
voice.
yeah.
His voice is like.
But his voice
But
doesn't
he's
sound. It
good.
doesn't sound like his real voice. His speaking voice sounds like a tough guy. Yeah, it's kind of tough like this. But then he sings. I don't want to
There's a hit.
because he's a great singer.
He did a lot of things with Linda Ronstadt as well.
Linda Ronstadt, you know, and
You don't know much. I know I love you.
there you go. This is a really good album. This has basically a lot of country songs on it.
Yes.
Because he kind of for a short time, like a lot of like Hootie and like Ray Charles.
Yes.
He tried to. We're talking about black popular singers.
Right.
He tried to get a second career as a American country singer,
Yes.
and to good effect.
Yes.
Because you know, I always feel that anyone could sing country music, and if you have a good voice, you should sing it. Because country music is actually my favorite type of music to sing. When I sing karaoke, I usually tend to lean. Not that I always sing country music, but I always lean towards a lot of times because I'm sort of a city slicker type.
Yeah.
City boy.
Yeah.
So when they hear me sing country music, like a Hank Williams song, and say, "Well, how do you know that?" I said, "I know. I forgot in 10 minutes more than you will ever know about music, pal."
Just like I'm a city girl, okay, and I listen to all kinds of music. I have a whole variety of LPs at home.
Yeah.
That I listen to. It doesn't matter which music, which style. I love them all. Okay.
You know the old joke. I think it was Louis Armstrong said, "There's only two types of music, good and bad." He's right. Merle Haggard was complaining once that his first album was a country album, and then after that, whenever he recorded any type of like popular music or like Chuck Berry type music or something, they just threw it into the country music bin.
I got some Merle Haggard.
What I'm trying to say is that after you do your first album, you're forever pegged as that type of singer.
Right.
And but really, you sing. A good singer can sing anything. You know.
Right.
People love Johnny Cash.
I do
And
too.
you think of Johnny Cash as a country singer, but Johnny Cash sings everything.
Yeah.
And everything is good he sings.
I know, yeah.
I've never heard a bad Johnny Cash song.
Of course, yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
Well, anyway, thanks for having me here on this lovely day.
Absolutely.
At Bird Park.
Yes, it's beautiful. And thank you all for tuning in, and you take care of yourselves. May God bless you all.